Hi, my name is John Messina with Gale, Sotheby's International Realty in Cold Spring Harbor, New York. Welcome to our second episode of Meet the Pro. And it's also our second part to a three-part series with an amazing landscape designer from Cold Spring Harbor. His name is Frank Esposito. He's a longtime friend of mine. He owns Design by Frank Esposito in Cold Spring Harbor, New York as well. And if you can hear that sound, we're on location in Lloyd Harbor. Backhoes are going, guys are all working. I don't know what the hell they're doing because I really don't know. That's why we're going to ask Frank about all this stuff. But it's an amazing waterfront location in Lloyd Harbor. I'm really excited to show you guys. Now this is the halfway point, right? Next one is going to be the reveal, which is going to be super exciting. So we're going to look at a lot of construction going on, and you guys are going to be amazed at the work that's going on here. We really appreciate you having us over here to
welcome. Thank you for
show us your
here.
project and the progress and where we're at. And it really is a beautiful site.
Yeah.
We understood from our first episode that this was a secondary building, secondary structure. We call it a guest house for the primary residence. We're a waterfront with an incredible water view in Lloyd Harbor. And can you give us an idea of where we're at on the project and what's left to do?
Right before the end of the season, meaning in late fall, we had the sod put down here, and we're getting ready to do planting in this spring. We're located at the main terrace of the guest house.
Yeah.
This is bluestone.
It's beautiful.
And thank you.
Where's this from?
This is called Pennsylvania blue, okay, and it has different tonal qualities, but it's mostly of grays, different tone and texture. And this is a flame finish on this bluestone.
And they do that what, so it doesn't rust?
Well, the rusty stone, it's a good question, John, is from New York. It's called New York State bluestone. Okay. So it has a different level of iron ore in the stone, which gives it that color. And this steps down to a lawn terrace in front of us for lawn games and just a relaxed feeling out
Play
here.
a little bocce over here?
You could.
Yeah, maybe that direction.
Little lawn golf or bocce. I like the bocce.
What's going to be in front of us? So I know because the staircases are on the side, so obviously there's going to be something here.
Well, in front of where we're standing at the moment, we'll have planting at the edge of this wall here. That separates the lower level from this level.
Right.
The plantings will be fairly very simple, big swaths of grasses and hydrangea and other flowering plant material for the summer. Because this will be central summertime use here. We have a walkway to our right, which leads from the main kitchen of this residence to the staircase that leads down to the lower level. And we decided not to go with any kind of a connecting walkway on the left.
Right. Because this house could, I mean, it's a guest house, it could stand alone. If many years in the future, if they ever decided this was going to be sold separately, you could do that.
Yes.
Because they're both gorgeous, both gorgeous places.
Yeah.
So you have a infinity edge pool or negative edge pool, and so it's going to be a seamless view between the end of the pool and the water out back.
Yeah, we actually stood out here with the client when in the initial stages of the construction to check the elevation to make sure we had successfully created that.
As far as someone figuring out the engineering behind it, how much math does that take to figure out that you have a negative edge to the view of the water and that it's not?
Well, it was actually very visual. We put poles up and a piece of wood across, a thin piece of wood, and actually physically looked at it from this location to make sure. Yeah.
What's the width? What's the end of the?
It's about 30 feet across, and it has a slight curve to it, which we'll see later. A lot of logistics went into this and to make this happen. Let's take a look, John.
All right.
This will be our walkway coming down from the house.
Right.
This will be bluestone on concrete. This area here to my right will be planted bed. And then there's a lower walkout basement, which they're putting a patio in.
So we're on the lower level now, and so how do you? I understand. You have this coming off the staircase.
Mm-hmm.
You have a landing here. Now, how you incorporate the landing with the patio?
So at this level, we're about maybe 5 feet below where we were standing earlier. And as we come down this staircase to a landing of bluestone, we'll step onto approximately 30 inch by 30 inch bluestone stepping stones that will be set into grade into, it'll end up having lawn grass joints.
Wow, I love that look.
Yeah, and there'll be 9 of them, three across, 3 deep, and that'll connect us to the terrace. We wanted to have a feeling of walking down the staircase and not being actually on the pool patio right away. So
Right.
having a little bit of an interruption. So a softer landing than approaching this large terrace here on my right.
And so it's the same type of stone, but this will be set in cement,
Yes.
and this will
Absolutely.
have mortar joints, and it'll be
Yes.
closed.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're looking at now the bluestone patio where you're gonna make that bluestone, and it's gonna be set in cement. And so now this is all seating, and how do you look at it? Or what do you anticipate what they're gonna have here?
Up against this retaining wall here, there'll be planting and also a band of grass in front of the wall. And then we'll have seating. The main seating is in front of the spa area here, as
Right.
you can see, which will have probably a large couch and maybe a table, or maybe a fire pit table, something of that nature. And then this will be overflow seating on the left and right, to be set up for larger parties. And then the patio will end here as we see this form, and it'll connect just to lawn area. So there'll be no paving up to the pool on that far side.
So as far as a filtration, heating system for the pool, where does all that go?
That's actually located in the lower level of the residence.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So you won't hear anything out here.
Yeah,
That's
it's all,
awesome.
It's all contained.
That's awesome.
It's a very large system, and we were able to get it piped from that lower level because it's a walkout basement. Yeah.
So these green pipes, and this is just all drainage?
Drainage to get this water off of this patio and then out into a dry well.
Incredible. So Frank, this is all going to be planting in here?
Yes, this is a planted bed here. This area here in front will be some grass, and then up against the wall we'll have planting.
And so you're linking the 2 areas of grass, so it's all one seamless flow?
Yes, so it flows from one area to the other. And then as you can see here, we can't see this one, but we'll have some rocks up against the beam of the pool, separating the beam and the patio. And then in this location, this will be a planted area here, just to break up some of the mass.
Sure. And so this is a hot tub?
This is a hot tub.
Does this spill over into
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's like 2 infinity edge?
Yes.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Why have one when you can have 2, right?
That's right. Well, it does create that sense of a continuum
Right.
to the water,
Oh, it's
especially from the top looking back down.
Gorgeous.
It was a perfect opportunity to capture that on this site, and it was also something that the client was very motivated about too. They're enjoying seeing this come to fruition.
So what's the process like? We talked about it last time. It's like kind of like a marriage because it's a long-term project. How is everybody getting along? Everybody's on the same page. There's some changes, I'm sure, that come with the job.
Yeah, it happens a lot. Our client here is very involved in the project, so
Which makes your job a little easier, probably.
Yes, it does. It does. I enjoy that interaction. I think it's motivating.
Right.
And it's a great collaboration, of ideas, because they look the client will look to the designers to give them thoughts, and then they'll run their own ideas off of us to help them, move along.
So Frank, so you have grass going up to the coping here. What style is this considered?
It's classical. You'll see this in classical design. A lot of times, you might see it more often in a more gardeny landscape where it's more relaxed. They do that a lot in the Hamptons. They're down by the water. It's kind of a beachy, relaxed atmosphere, and and a lot. I'm leaning towards, less masonry sometimes is more. It's strong. You could, if you wanted to, in this situation, or the client wanted to actually set up a couple of chairs over here, if they wanted to, that can be taken away.
Is there seating inside the pool?
There's some seating that we'll see inside the pool on this negative edge beam here, okay. And there's some seating on the inside. This is a lower level, like a lounge area in here.
What's the deepest part of the pool?
It's about 5.5 feet tall.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
that's great.
There's a couple of steps in here to break up that grade. And then in this case too, I'd just like to reiterate that we wanted the design of the pool to really read off of the landscape. So having the lawn come right up to it, there's no competition with other geometric elements like a patio. And we also wanted to keep the movement of walking consolidated more towards the spa area and near the wall. This will be the more entertaining area, and this will be passive.
It really is a gorgeous location, and
yeah,
you guys are
thank you.
Well on your way. We're talking about how many months you think?
This is the whole process with in this situation with the house and the landscape has been ongoing for a couple of years now.
But to go, like how much left?
To go on this project, we should be done, I'd say, end of spring, mid, early summer. It's probably a good estimate of the time schedule, barring weather and other considerations or changes that might come up.
Amazing. And
availability of plant material.
So
we're looking good. The weather's been nice.
So that's beautiful. For people that are doing projects, maybe with a more modest budget, can it be done in phases? Can you create a design for them that's taken over different phases so they can enjoy, let's say they're going to put a pool in or a pool in a tennis court and then build it out later on for...
Absolutely.
So how does that work?
Generally, the high priority areas would go first, right. And then we would create a master plan and then phase that out over time, accordingly.
So you're adding more like plant material, second and third phase. The big jobs are done in the beginning.
Yeah, or even if it's entertaining spaces, patio areas, but things like, let's say if it's a new construction, there's a driveway that has to go in. That's kind of mandatory. And then if there's a pool going in, then let's say the patios around that pool, whatever is required by the client's needs, that could always be done later, to accommodate budgetary,
constraints.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So Frank, can you show us the business end of the negative edge?
Sure. Let's take a walk down. Well, looks like it's covered a little bit, but this is the lower level of the pool. We're approximately 3 feet lower from the upper level there, 3.5 possibly. The water will run over this wall into a collecting trough here and create a very beautiful ambiance. Again, the lawn goes right up to the coping, and
so when that's running, you're going to have like a waterfall. It's a water feature.
Yes.
Maybe have some chairs out here. Open up a bottle of wine.
Absolutely.
Get the stogies out.
Why not? Why not?
Got the view. Frank, thank you so much.
Sure.
Give us a glimpse of what's going on. It's really
thanks for visiting.
Incredible work.
Appreciate it.
And I can't wait to see the reveal.
All of us too. Yes.
Thank you for joining us today, and please remember to like, share, and follow.